An attitude of gratitude should never be a platitude. And that's why we're here, my friends. Each Shabbat, Jews around the world give thanks for all of their blessings. The word todah in Hebrew means thank you. And related to that word is Yehudah, from which we get the word Judaism. So to be Jewish literally means to give thanks. And every prayer that we say, every word that we utter on Shabbat is really just a thank you. If you know no Hebrew and know no prayers at all, if you just can give thanks for what we have, then that's as Jewish as you could possibly be. We have a song from someone who survived the coronavirus. He gives thanks for life. Even if we did not survive the coronavirus, we should give thanks for life. Life depends on miracles upon miracles that happen every day. 20,000 breaths are taken each day when our bodies perform all of these miracles without our conscious thought to allow life. If we are confined to our homes during this horrible pandemic, let us give thanks for our home. If we are limited to being with our own family in our home, let us give thanks for our family. If our only communication with friends is through the internet, let us give thanks for the internet and for friends. And let us send them mails and email and communicate with them and let them know how much we appreciate them. Every prayer that we do is a prayer of thanks. Nodeh lecha. We give thanks in the Orthodox tradition because we combine the best elements of all branches of Judaism all together as one during this wonderful Shabbat of thanks and also thanks for the state of Israel.
It's been 2 weeks since I was released from the hospital from the worst pain of my life, from the coronavirus. I am so grateful. I have such amazing musical friends that have helped me develop this gratitude prayer. This is the song I sang when I got back from the hospital, right here. Hashem Elokeinu Noyedecho.
This is a very special Shabbat. It's celebrated in the week of Yom HAATZMAUT, Israel Independence Day. Israel is a light to the nations. And so the Jewish people are commanded to be a light to the nations by sharing the light of love and of learning and of hope and inspiration. So we now turn to the candle lighting portion of our Shabbat celebration.
Every Friday, as the sun sets across the earth, Jewish women light a candle or two and surround the planet with a ring of light. With outstretched arms, they encircle the flames 3 times for their family, for their community, and for all humanity. They draw the light toward them into their heart and pray. The gates of heaven are open. It's an auspicious time to request blessings for good health, for ample livelihood, for children whose good deeds will light up the world. It is an opportunity to connect to the transcendent power of your soul and to envision an era filled with true peace, joy, and tranquility. This Friday night, 18 minutes before sunset, add your light to the circle of flames. Illuminate the world.
Shabbat Shalom. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own lives and day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
On Shabbat, we give thanks for the sweet wine. The sweet wine reminds us of how sweet our lives are. And we definitely want to express our gratitude for all the sweetness that we can enjoy and for our ability to share sweetness with others. Shabbat celebrates the sweetness of creation and also of the Exodus, performed according to the Bible by miracles. On this Shabbat, on Yom HAATZMAUT week, celebrating the creation of Israel, we give thanks not only for the Exodus from Egypt, but the Exodus from Jews all over the world to the state of Israel and the establishment of the wonderful Jewish state. We continue with the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'hava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Nighttime beckons to the Jewish nation. Sabbath stirs our soul's imagination, and as Shabbat commences, it heightens all our senses. We abandon all pretenses in our life. As we listen to the music Shabbat night, slowly, gently we approach a time so tender, mindful, insightful. We celebrate life's splendor, connecting to our past and the universe so vast. Our soul comes alive at last to our delight. As we listen to the music Shabbat night, close your eyes and envision the Jew's loftiest dream of a world at peace forevermore. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar, and you'll live as you've never lived before. Doleful, soulful music shall caress you with ancient longings. Our ancestors shall bless you. Now open up your mind, and your spirit soon will find the path out of the darkness unto light. With the power of the music Shabbat night, let your mind start a journey to your authentic self. Now awakened, you live out your own dream. Let your soul guide you where you long to be. Only then can your ruach be set free. Healing, revealing, achieving liberation, refining, aligning our deepest aspiration. Now let Shabbat begin, and may goodness finally win in the struggle between evil and of right. Empowered by the music Shabbat night, transcending time and space, our souls take flight. Inspired by the music Shabbat night.
In this Shabbat of gratitude, we continue with the Baruch Hu and the Shema. They both give praise for all the works of creation. And the Shema reminds us that it's all one. On Yom HAATZMAUT, we remember that Jews came together as one people to establish the state of Israel. Rich and poor, Jews who are Democrats and Republicans from the United States, from the Middle East, South America, all over. We all joined together as one for a holy cause, and we established through incredible heroism and bravery and ingenuity the state of Israel. As Jews often are so divided today, let us remember that when we Jews work together for a better world, there's no stopping our indomitable spirit. And if we divide up among ourselves, then we are lost. Let us join together as one Jewish community all over the world, in conjunction with our non-Jewish friends, and together let us recite the Baruch Hu and the Shema and give praise and thanks for all of those courageous people who established the state of Israel and who keep it strong today.
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Israel is a land of amazing, wondrous beauty, history, modern technology, and a country that symbolizes the hope of humanity, that a people that was counted out can not only survive, but can thrive and accomplish wonderful things. All of this is captured in the beauty of Eretz Eretz.
ארץ תחול עיניו והשמש לה כדבש וחלב ארץ בה נולדנו ארץ בה נחיה ונשב בה יהיה מה שיהיה ארץ שנאהב היא לנו אם ואב ארץ של העם ארץ לעולם ארץ בה נולדנו ארץ בה נחיה יהיה מה שיהיה ארץ 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 ים אל מול החוף ופרחים וילדים לשרוף בצפון כנרת בדרום חולות ומזרח למערב נושק גבולות ארץ שנוהג
ancestors contributed greatly to establish a state of Israel. And even more significant, perhaps, than the Jewish state is the Jewish state of mind which gave rise to Israel and fills us with dreams of a better world and better lives. In thanks and gratitude to our ancestors for giving us this precious heritage, we continue with the Avot. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sorah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'nehem Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham, ve'Ezrat Sorah. You know, it was the hope of our ancestors that one day they would return to Israel. For 2,000 years, this hope never died. And today we are the fortunate beneficiaries of a dream come true. And so we continue with the hope, which is a theme song for the state of Israel, and also, I hope, will be a theme for all of humanity.
This is the hope. This is the hope. The hope is still real. A Jewish home in Israel. This is the time we stand as one. If not now, when? We must be strong. Our hearts turn to the east. This is the hope that holds us together. HAATZMAUT, the hope that will last forever. This is the hope that holds us together. HAATZMAUT, the hope is still real. This is the hope. The hope is still real. A Jewish home in Israel. This is the time we stand as one. If not now, when? We must be strong. Our hearts turn to the east. Yeah, this is the hope that holds us together. The hope that will last forever. This is the hope that holds us together. HAATZMAUT, the hope is still real. This is the hope. 2,000 years, pray for freedom.
This congregation, Va-Dor, was founded by my father, Rabbi Sam Silver, who believed that reason and religion should join forces, and believed that science was a great revelation as well as the revelations of our prophets. And he used to have a saying, the best way to defeat an enemy is to make that enemy your friend. Mark Twain had been an enemy of the Jewish people, but he got to know us, and he spent some time with the Jewish people, and he became a friend. And he penned these immortal words. The Egyptians, the Babylonians, and the Persians rose, filled the planet with sound and splendor, then faded to dream stuff and passed away. The Greek and the Romans followed and made a vast noise, and they are gone. Other peoples have sprung up and held their torch high for a time, but it burned out, and they sit in twilight now, or have vanished. The Jew saw them all, beat them all, and is now what he has always been, exhibiting no decadence, no infirmities of age, no weakening of his parts, no slowing of his energies, no dulling of his alert, and aggressive mind. All things are mortal, but the Jew. All other forces pass, but he remains. What is the secret of his immortality? Many people have wondered and pondered this question. I happen to believe that there are many reasons. One I'd like to share is that the Jews have an eternal mission to make this world a better place. We haven't quite finished yet. We still have a little ways to go. And so we will be here forever, constantly trying to make this world better, fulfilling our role as Jews. We also believe that one of the reasons why the Jews are still here is because we teach our heritage to our children, and we do this in the form of Shabbat. It was Zig Ziglar, who was a great motivational speaker, who was approached by someone who says, I don't believe in this motivation. I don't think it lasts. He said, either does bathing. That's why I recommend it daily. And we Jews recommend inspiration weekly in the form of Shabbat. We appreciate that you're here with us and invite you to share Shabbat every single week as we rejoin in the singing of Tonight I Celebrate Shabbat with You.
Tonight I celebrate Shabbat with you. It seems the only natural thing to do. Tonight true happiness will find us. Our sages will remind us how to be kind to you as a Jew. Tonight I celebrate Shabbat with you. And soon the whole world will seem brand new. Tonight we will soon discover our love for one another and to live as a Jew tonight. Tonight I celebrate Shabbat with you, and the setting sun opens up new breakthroughs. Tonight there'll be no distance between us. What I want most to do is to live as a Jew tonight.
An unreflected life is not worth living, and so we always take time at Shabbat celebrations to meditate on our good fortune and to consider our future. On this particular Shabbat, we take a moment to give thanks for the courage of people who gave their lives and made great sacrifices to establish Israel for us today. We also take a moment to rejoice in all the blessings of liberty experienced in Israel and here in the United States. And we also remember that the future is not some place we are going, but one we are creating. The paths are not to be found, but made. People took their future into their own hands by establishing Israel, not waiting for a supernatural power to do it, but to do it themselves. And so we give thanks for them, and we also want to have the strength that they had to create our future. We also, at this time, hope that the people who are ailing and suffering distress from coronavirus and every other problem in the world, we hope that they will receive a refuah shlema, a complete restoration to good health, whether they are suffering physically, economically, emotionally. We hope that they will receive healing this Shabbat.
Mechor habracha Emoiteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our life a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Emoiteinu Mechor habracha Emoiteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And now we have something really special, an amazing creation by cantorial soloist Andrew Sussman. It is a blessing and a celebration of peace. Jews say peace when we're coming, when we're going, when we ask how you doing. Enjoy this wonderful celebration of peace. Yihiyeh Shalom.
When we hear one another, there will be peace in the world. When we understand one another, there will be peace in the world. When we love one another, there will be peace in the world. Yihiyeh Shalom. Yihiyeh Shalom. Ba'olam. Yihiyeh Shalom. Yihiyeh Shalom. When we believe in one another, there will be peace in the world. When we learn from one another, there will be peace in the world. When we work with one another, there will be peace in the world. Yihiyeh Shalom. Yihiyeh Shalom. Ba'olam. Yihiyeh Shalom. Yihiyeh Shalom. We believe that peace will come. We'll see the beauty in everyone. We believe that peace can be, that we're children of one family. Yihiyeh Shalom. Yihiyeh Shalom.
If you would read the Torah, what a tale its words would tell about the old-time heroes in the land of Israel. And when the world grows dark, we provide a spark to help the world to see our shared humanity. And we know when things go wrong, we must stay strong and sing our song of harmony.
If you would read the portents and the writing on the wall, we could begin to fathom the rise of mankind and its fall. When the Jews are cursed, it brings out the worst in our society and leads to tyranny. But in those lands where Jews are blessed, it brings out the best and leads to liberty.
Injustice here or injustice there is injustice everywhere, as taught by Dr. King. And if you read each sacred line, then you may find that love empowers everything. And love's power is so real. I always hoped that I would feel this way, and I'm glad to say that I finally get it. I don't know where the world went wrong, but we must stay strong, and we must learn to get along. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam v'oed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. We are reading this evening from the book of Leviticus, the origins of Yom Kippur. V'hayata lachem lechukat olam, and there shall be for you an eternal statute. B'chodesh hashvi'i, on the 7th month, be'asur lachodesh, on the 10th day of the month, ta'anu et nafshotechem, you shall afflict your souls. This is the only reference to what today is considered the tradition of fasting. It just says afflict your souls. There's nothing about fasting or not eating in the Torah. This is a custom, or you could say a reform, not to eat on that day. V'chol melacha lo ta'asu, and all types of work you shall not do. Ha'ezrach v'hagir hagar b'tochachem. It shall apply to the citizen as well as to the stranger who resides with you. Ki vayom hazeh yichaper aleichem litaher etachem mikol chatotechem. On this day you shall seek atonement and forgiveness for all of your sins. Lifnei Adonai, before this creative power that many refer to as God. Titahu Shabbat Shabbaton, and you shall purify yourself on the Sabbath of Sabbaths, the great Shabbat of the year. Hi lachem va'anitem et nafshotechem. Again it repeats, you shall afflict your souls. Chukat olam v'chaper v'chahen asher yimshach oto v'asher yamale et yado l'chahen techat aviv v'lavash et bigdei habad bigdei hakodesh. And the high priest on this day shall officiate in his royal garb, his priestly vestments, in order to help in the atonement for your sins. V'chaper et migdash hakodesh, he shall purify the sanctuary. V'et ohel moed, and the tent of meeting shall also be purified. V'et hamizbeach, and the holy ark. V'chaper v'al hakohanim, v'al kol am hakahal, he shall purify and anoint the Kohens, the priests, and also all the people of the community. Yechaper v'hayata zot lachem l'chukat olam. This atonement shall be for all time. Lechaper al bnei Yisrael mikol chatotehem. It shall be a day on which the people of Israel shall be cleansed of all their sins. Achat bashana, one time in the year. V'ya'as ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe. And Moses did as the Lord commanded. He instituted this day of atonement. And as my father used to say, atone can be pronounced three ways. Atone, as one word, means to seek forgiveness. And once we do that, we can start anew. You can also interpret it as at one. We should be at one with all Jews today as we celebrate the state of Israel, and all Jews and all people should be united. And also a tone. We should have a tone of harmony with earth, and we should atone, seek forgiveness for the harms and the desecration we've committed. Let us dedicate ourselves, as we read about atonement, to atone for the sins of humanity, and decide that we will devote ourselves to seeking at one-ment with all living things, and to purify not only our souls, but the air, the water, the land that we live on, and purify this earth, and also seek purity in the wonderful state of Israel. Now we have the blessing after the Torah. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach L'olam Voed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata bitochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, amecha, ve'ad panecha natato lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Torat chayim, ve'ahavot chesed, ve'ahavot chesed, u'tzecha, u'bracha, ve'rachamim, ve'chayim, ve'shalom. Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed ve'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, amecha, v'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. B'bait v'chasha bishamecha. Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed ve'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, amecha, baruch atah Adonai hamevorech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
We read from the Torah tonight about the origins of Yom Kippur, or as I like to call it, Yom Keep Pure. We try to seek purity in our lives, and after we've stained and sullied our souls to some extent during the year, we try to achieve purity on Yom Kippur. We do the same thing each Shabbat. And the greatest thing about Yom Kippur, which is usually seen as a sad day, is it's actually a very, very happy day. It's an extremely optimistic day. It takes the position that we can improve, that by introspection we can chart our future, and that we're not enslaved by our past but can learn from it. So Yom Kippur is probably the most optimistic, joyous holiday in the Jewish calendar. When we commemorate Yom Kippur, we give thanks for the ability of free will, and we seek to be entered in the book of life. Now, science tells us that we already are in the book of life. The book of life is called DNA. DNA is a magical, mystical book of life within us. That's our genetic code. But unlike other species which have a predetermined script that they can't deviate from, DNA, standing for them, do not alter. For human beings, DNA stands for destiny not assumed. And Israel was established by people who refused to hear what the world was telling them and were unreasonable in thinking that they could actually establish a Jewish state. And so we gather here on this auspicious Shabbat to celebrate Yom HAATZMAUT. I would like to mention 3 amazing people that capture the spirit, the indomitable spirit of Israel. One is Moran Samuel. Moran Samuel was a great athlete, a basketball star, someone who practiced and trained and devoted herself to her physical body and mental well-being until she had a paralyzing stroke, tragically, and she was paralyzed. She did not let it get her down. She became a great wheelchair basketball player, a great rower, and one day she made it into the Olympics, the Special Olympics, and was at the podium receiving the gold medal. And when it came time for the national anthem, they never expected that Israel could win a medal in anything. And so they didn't have Hatikva. But she said, let me have that microphone. She grabbed the microphone and sang out in a way that brought a tear to the eye of everyone the beautiful words of Hatikva, the hope, which she epitomizes, having hope for the future regardless of what happens. And they asked her afterwards, how did you do that? How did you have the equanimity to do it? And she said, if you look at an obstacle as a barrier, you'll let it defeat you. But if you look at an obstacle as a challenge, you'll figure a way to overcome it. And this is not a great obstacle. She overcame so much, and so have the Jews. And we're inspired by her singing Hatikva. The other person I'd like to tell you about is Eddie Jacobson. Eddie Jacobson was a friend of Truman. Eddie Jacobson recognized that Israel needed the President of the United States to support her, but the United States was not forthcoming. Israel was precariously situated in the world. It didn't know if it would exist or not, if it could survive. And at a time when it needed help, it didn't even have an air force. Eddie Jacobson went to his friend. He had never asked for a favor before. And he said, President Truman, I need to ask you something. I just want a moment of your time. And he said, I'll talk to you about anything, but don't bring up Israel. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'll listen to anything but that. And he said, I thought you were open-minded. I thought that I could talk to you about anything. All I'm asking you is just meet Chaim Weizmann. Just do me that favor. And when he met with Chaim Weizmann, he said, this is the greatest leader I've ever seen. He was so impressed that he contributed to the support of Israel and was the first to recognize Israel, which established Israel as a state in 1948. Towards the end of his life, he said to his daughter, to Eleanor, I'm sorry. I've spent all my money on Israel. He had been traveling back and forth, opening up his home, committing everything he had. I have nothing left to give you as an inheritance. And she said, don't be silly. You've given me the greatest heritage and legacy of all, the state of Israel. And now I'd also like to mention Nathan and Isidore Strauss. These two were brothers, extremely wealthy brothers. They had established Macy's and were at the pinnacle of their career. And they decided, let's go to Israel and check it out. In the 1800s, it wasn't what it is today. Many would consider it a wasteland. They went there and it was impoverished. There were swamps. It had many problems. And so Nathan said, I'm going to stay here and commit myself to Israel. Isidore said, we've already been in this godforsaken place for so long. He says, let us go back home. Let us go back to our lives of luxury. How could you want to stay here? He said, this is my homeland. This is where I belong. So Isidore said, well, write him a check. That's good enough. Just write him a check. He said, no, I have to stay. Well, Isidore went back to the United States. He left and boarded the Titanic. The rest, my friends, is history. He never made it. But Nathan Strauss committed and dedicated not just his money, but his heart and his soul. They named Netanya after Nathan Strauss. He built it up, and his inspiration, his ingenuity, his business know-how helped to make Israel what it is today. And so we see, my friends, that Israel is a great heritage. It might have looked like a wasteland to some, but to the Jewish neshama, it is the hope and the dream of the Jewish people. Let us continue on Yom HAATZMAUT to see Israel through the eyes of Nathan Strauss, not just as it is, but as it could be. Let us be free to criticize Israel and make it better. Today, Israel is the hope of all humanity. And when it recognizes Reform and progressive Judaism as equal partners in the Jewish experience and in the Jewish homeland, it'll be even better. So let us feel free to recommend to Israel, you grant freedom to all people. Include Reform and progressive Jews. Israel is the bastion of democracy. The Squad, those Democrats who say they're for civil rights and condemn Israel. Let them recognize that the greatest friend of civil rights is Israel. If you believe in women's rights, if you believe in freedom, if you believe in dignity, if you believe in democracy, if you believe in respect for all human beings, stop castigating and criticizing Israel and join us in celebrating Israel. Let the Democratic Party unite. Let Republicans and Democrats unite. Yes, most Democrats are for Israel, fortunately, but let even the Squad all join together and remember that the dream, the hope of the Jewish people is a hope for all humanity. Im tirtzu and zo agadah. Israel established for all humanity. If you will it, it is no dream. Let us live this dream together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כיי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורל עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Most people associate the Kaddish, which is a prayer for those who are no longer with us, with death. It does not mention death at all. It mentions actually debt. The debt of gratitude towards life, and not death, but depth. The depth of our feelings and our emotions towards life and our precious ones who are no longer with us physically, but they are socially connected with us. Physically distant, but socially connected. And this wonderful song explains what the Kaddish is really all about. It's showing that the Jewish people love life so much, even when it's taken from us, we celebrate the beauty of the life and the love that we shared.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. May your wonder be celebrated. May your name be consecrated. May your brilliance never fade from the magnificent world you made. May your ways prevail in our own days. in our own lives and in the life of all Yisrael. Veimeru, Veimeru, Amen. Veimeru, Amen. May your name receive the same beauty that you bring, though you are far beyond the sweetest songs we could ever sing. Veimeru, Veimeru, Amen. Veimeru, Veimeru, Amen. Veimeru, Veimeru, Amen. Veimeru, Amen.
Yiskedal v'yiskadash Shemei Rabba, v'yomad yivrach ruseh v'yamlich ma'chuseh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol beis Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba mivorach l'olam ulmei ulmaya, yisborach v'yistabach v'yisboor v'yischomam v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal Shemei Kedusha b'richu, le'elam min kol b'chosa v'shirasa, tush b'chosa v'nechamasa, da'amiron b'yomah v'yimru Amen. A benediction means a good word, an inspiring word. So let us turn to Margaret Mead for her benediction. She said, "Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We Jews are that small group of committed people. And an even smaller group of committed Jews established Israel. Let us give our undying gratitude for that wonderful heritage that we have. And let us always not only give thanks for Israel, but do everything we can to keep her strong." And so we also remember the words of George Bernard Shaw. He said this, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable man persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." We Jews are the unreasonable men and women who believe that this world can improve, who believe that a 2,000-year dream can come true, who believe that we can have a democracy in the Middle East that is not only dedicated to our past and devoted to ancient heritage, but also looks to the future. We are inspired by Israel. And so we have the national anthem of the state of Israel, which is called Hatikva, the hope. And when we sing Hatikva and listen to its stirring words, we remember the words of another great figure of history, Theodor Herzl, who predicted that the Jews would one day reclaim Israel, who predicted that they would establish Israel as a land of the Jews and Hebrew as their spoken language, who was told he was crazy and unreasonable. But this very unreasonable man said, "Im tirtzu and zo agadah," if you will it, it is no dream. And today Israel shows that all people who are inspired by a dream, who have the courage and the ingenuity and the tenacity and the indomitable spirit to make it come true, can indeed make their dreams a reality. Let us remember this as we fight the coronavirus, as we fight against climate change, as we fight against the virus of hatred and intolerance. Let us remember the stirring message of Hatikva, the hope.
They made ready their banners and their true flag. The flag was hoisted before the world.
נפש יהודי הומייה ולפתי מזרח קדימה עין לציון צופיה עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון ירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון ירושלים.
One of the greatest parts of our Shabbat celebration is to interact with one another. Today we are physically distant, but we are still socially one. And so I invite everyone to join with us with an interactive, live, Zoomed Oneg Shabbat, the joy of the Sabbath. We invite you to join with us, to share your good news, to say hello and to check in with us, and also to express any comments that you might have upon what was said today or tonight or whatever is on your mind. I look forward to seeing you. Don't miss our interactive Oneg Shabbat.
Good evening, members, guests, and friends of Congregation Va-Dor. We are thankful and honored that you are once again sharing your Shabbat evening with us. We are extremely pleased that we continue to come together as a large Jewish family that we all belong to. We sincerely hope that everyone here, as well as their loved ones, wherever they may live, are healthy and keeping safe from the ravages of COVID-19. We are so pleased to offer you our programming tonight. I hope you found tonight's programming spiritual, enlightening, and uplifting. We'd like to thank Rabbi Barry, our cantorial soloist Rosemary Lopater, Arnie Pickholst, and cantorial soloist Andy Sussman for making tonight's Shabbat service so very special. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. after our services, please come join us and enjoy our Oneg Shabbat, where we will celebrate our May birthday and anniversaries. They will receive the priestly blessing from Rabbi Barry, and we will also share our good news and good tidings with everyone. Please continue to join us for our weekly chats with Rabbi Barry every Friday at 2 p.m. Again, we will send out the link through the voice and on our website. Also, please spread the word to your families and friends to join us every Friday evening for our Shabbat celebrations. We will continue to promote our unique vision of Judaism, and we hope that you are enjoying what we are doing online to keep continuity for our extended Jewish family. We are your family, and we hope for your continued health, happiness, and prosperity for you and yours. Please see our voice email newsletters and our website for more information and for new, exciting additional programming that we may offer. If there is any type of programming that you would like to see as part of our online offerings, please do not hesitate to email me and let me know. As we start on the road to returning to some semblance of this new normal, it is not the time to let our guards down. Remember, we are in this together, and together we can get through these difficult times. Remember to stay physically distant while outside, but also remain socially connected to Va-Dor. If you should know of anyone who is sick in the hospital and or sick at home, please let us know. Please also be in touch with us if you need anything at all that we may help you with. If there is anything we can possibly do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out to me as your congregation president at ladorvadorprez@gmail.com. Please allow me to wish you a very happy and healthy Shabbat Shalom.
When we hear one another, there will be peace in the world. When we understand one another, there will be peace in the world. When we love one another, there will be peace in the world. Yes, shalom. Yes, shalom. see them